story painter. I create delusions of reality across the canvas of your mind. My words are my brushes. My colors are my images. My easel is your imagination. I am the invisible craftsman who slips in through your eyes and reprograms your ears to hear, to see splashes of realism along the mirages of your dreams. For I am the story painter, and this painting is for you. Welcome. I am Bob Kinney, the story painter. And welcome to Stories That Sail the Oceans of the Mind. Today we're going to be dealing with Pearl Kingdom, this wonderful place, this beautiful island that's set out into the center of the ocean, where all the inhabitants of the other islands, of Worthyland and of Wonderland, Wonder Island, when they come and sail there with their ships, they come to Pearl City. And there at Pearl City, they mingle and relax and enjoy themselves. And there is where the industry is. They come out of the fields. They come away from their homeland, and they enjoy modern technology there in Pearl City. We shall return with the stories of it right after this pause. Now, near Pearl City, in the suburbs, there are many, many homes there where the inhabitants lived. Now, all these homes were somewhat similar. There were families with children. The husbands would go to work. The wives would stay home and cook. Some of the wives would also go to work. The children would go to school. And in the evening, they'd return to the homes and have dinner and relax. And on this particular street, there at the in the suburbs, there was an ordinary family, a husband and wife and 2 children. They were very, very happy. And the unusual thing, though, about this family was not them, not the people, but their dog. They had a very unusual dog by the name of Darrow. Now, on the street, there were many other animals. There were cats. There were other dogs. Families had some even exotic animals as pets. But the thing that made Darrow outstanding more than the others was the fact that when his owner would take him in the car, Darrow would just sit there and look out the window at the other cars, and he would just picture himself behind the wheel. All right, Darryl, we're going into town now, and you know something, don't stick your head too far out the window. Remember last time you nearly got it torn off as I made a corner very tight there. We went by that bridge that was very close to the car. Now you be careful. Darryl would just bark because he liked to do things in the car. He would stick his head way outside the window. In fact, he actually learned how to roll down the window with his paw. Well, this kind of amazed his owner, and every time that his owner would take him into town, and he would stop the car and go and buy the groceries or whatever he had to do, Darryl would nonchalantly slip behind the wheel of the car. Boy, this is great, you know? I really feel like I could drive this car. I know I could. And he put his paws on the wheel. This is really nice, but you know something? This shifter gives me trouble here, and I just don't know. My legs, I can actually reach that pedal down there. I think he called it a clutch. And I'll bet you I could actually, if I could only grip that with my paw, but my paw keeps slipping off of it. Well, Darrell was so upset because he wanted to drive the car so badly, but he knew there was never a chance for him to drive simply because his paw wouldn't go around the gear shift. Oh boy, there's no way I can do this. Just keep slipping off. Well, he'd get very frustrated, and his owner would come back. Hi, Darrell, I see that you've been behind the wheel again. You'd probably be a good driver. I've seen people drive on the street. I know you could drive better than him. And he would drive home. Well, Darrell at night, when he'd be out there in his pen, he'd be under the stars, and all I want to do is drive. If I could only be a good driver, that's all I want to do. If only I could learn to drive. To me, that would be the most important thing in my lifetime. Well, obviously, someone overheard this. For there, up in the sky, as his words traveled out into the air, they just wandered up into the universe. And well, there were strange things up in the universe that said, why can't a dog drive? It might be kind of interesting to see that happen. Well, as his words mingled around up there, all of a sudden, in his owner's mind came the thought, well, I wonder if I could teach that dog to drive. I'll bet you I could. Come on over here, Darrell. He goes out there on a Saturday morning, and he actually put his dog behind the wheel. Come on, Darrell, let's just see. You're big enough, and you certainly know how to handle that wheel. You look good behind it. Let's see if you can handle it. And Darrell tried to show him that he couldn't reach the gear shift. Oh, your paw slips off the gear shift, huh? Well, I think I can fix that. Old Tom next door, he's got in his basement, I'll bet you we can make a pair of mittens for you that your hand can fit in the gear shift. The dog got real excited. Darrell now suddenly thought, maybe there is a chance. Well, wouldn't you know that his owner went next door and saw his friend, and they actually made a pair of mittens for the dog, which were made of a leather and they had non-skid type material on it. Well, when they put that on his paw actually then fit around the gear shift. This is really interesting. Come on, I'm going to take the dog out there. Well, his owner took him out into an abandoned dirt road. Come on now, Darrell, I'm going to show you what happens here. Get behind the wheel. The dog got behind the wheel, and wouldn't you know, from watching his master so many times shift the clutch, he actually, without effort, put his dog paw on the clutch and on the gas. Well, I can't believe it. The dog is actually driving. And that day, Darrell's owner taught him how to drive. He shifted well. He actually drove the car quite well. Every Saturday, Darrell's owner would take him out there, and they'd go to some old abandoned roads, and Darrell would learn how to drive. Well, as it turned out, he became quite a good driver. One day, there at the end of the month, they usually had their annual sports car races, and they let anybody come into the race who would pay the initiation fee. Darrell's owner got an idea. Hey, Tom, you know something? I'll bet you I can enter my dog in that race, and he's got a good chance of winning. What do you think? Henry, are you crazy? You're going to enter your dog in that race? I'd like to see that. I'll bet you couldn't do it. Well, I'll bet you I could. And wouldn't you know, soon the whole neighborhood were making bets that they couldn't enter a dog into the race. Well, Darrell's owner went down there the next day, and sure enough, paying the registration.